So now that we've got the grids in, we want to go in and put the floors and the walls in to get our sort of base in, our shell. And so don't worry immediately about your type selection for the code. We can always update it later. I'm going to start out a little generic and then we'll sort of update it. So we'll start with the floor. And so I'm going to go to my architecture tab and go to floor and floor architectural. And I'm just going to pick sort of a generic floor. So if I scroll up to the top, there's a generic white floor, and I'm just going to pick that. And it wants me to draw an outline where I want the floor to be. And so I'm going to use the pick line, and I'm just going to start sort of picking a little bit of the edge of this guy. So if this is the edge there, right, and this is that interior edge, and then I've got that edge, and I should have that edge. And again, I'm not sort of getting real panicky that I don't have everything that I need. And then where I don't have something, like I don't have something to pick here, right? Then I'll just come in and draw a line, and adjust it later. Again, I'm not going to get super hung up on where exactly all of this is. We can always adjust it later. So once I have some of these guys in, I'm just going to come up here and select trim, and it's like a fillet. So I'm just picking what I want to keep, and it's going to come in here and fillet these things, right? So I want this guy, and this guy, this guy, and this guy, this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. So I want a real basic outline. Right now, this one I kind of want to be on the inside of this. I should have moved my my grid to the inside, so I'm just going to drag it down there for right now, and I'll adjust the grid in just a minute. But once you have that, you can also come in and adjust little moments. So, for example, if you have a basic outline, you can come in and kind of here's the door, right? And again, don't worry about being super exact. We can always update it later, right? So again, just sort of going around and this one, it looks like it's not lined up, which is weird, right? Like that doesn't line up, but it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, but that's all right. And then let's go ahead and I think that's okay. That's okay. That's okay for now. That's okay for now. So I kind of have all of the outline, and we'll go in and again adjust these things as we go. And so once I have the outline of the floor here, I'm just going to hit check, right? And if I go to my 3D view, you should see that floor, okay? So basically you want to just create a floor. And again, we can adjust it later, so don't panic if it's not exactly right. And then we're going to go in and create our walls. So I'll go ahead and close this guy, go back to my level 1 top of slab, and create the walls. So I'm going to go to wall architectural, and first I'm going to create the exterior wall. Some of you may only have one. This is obviously on a corner. But if I come to the pull down, I'm just going to scroll up and grab, how about an exterior 8-inch? Right? I do have a generic exterior hotel, which you could use, but I'll just stick with the exterior 8-inch. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to make sure that it's set to finished face interior, because that's where I kind of put all my little things. And so I'm just going to come and start kind of drawing along the edge of this floor, right? And you can see it's set to interior, but it's flipping. My thing is flipping the wrong way. So I'm just going to hit the space bar. So the wall is actually out there. And again, I'm not worried that this guy is not as thick, right, as that exterior wall. So once I'm done, I'll just go ahead and put this as exterior wall. Again, I'm just tracing kind of around what I drew already, right? Oh, and that one needs to actually be moved down, right? So this needs actually to be on the inside. So once you kind of have these things, you can kind of move it, you know, assume, right, like that. So again, you can kind of drag these things around and kind of get them to work the way you want them to. And then these guys are actually not interior exterior walls, right? These are actually interior walls. So I can actually pick those. So I'm just going through and kind of picking these guys here. And instead of an exterior 8-inch wall, I'm going to go to my type selector and scroll down, and I'll just pick, how about an interior, do we have a generic 6-inch masonry, interior 1 hour. I'll just pick the 5.5-inch generic, right, partition 1 hour. And I'll pick that. And that's what it'll sort of update it to, right? And so it should be holding the line, you know, at the interior face edge. And then we can update these, you know, as we need. Now, the other thing that you'll want to do is finish off these walls. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back. All right, so I finished kind of the walls, and if I go to my 3D view, then I've got this guy. Now, one of the things that I didn't do was that if I pick the walls, their base constraint is level 2, and their top constraint is up to level 3, right? So that's the way those guys are set up. And then there's a top offset of 4 feet on them, which I don't really want. Somehow that got a top offset. So all you need to do is, if you have something that's not set correctly, is you can just go through and pick all the walls. So I'm just going to do a crossing box and filter out all the walls. So check none and grab the walls. And if you only have walls, it'll let you adjust that top offset. So I'll just set it to 0, and you'll see them kind of flip down to there. And then I'm going to pick this floor, and I'm going to go to the modify and copy that guy. So there's a little copy. Then I'm going to paste align to selected levels, and I'm going to paste it to level 3. And it's just going to paste that guy up there. Now, there's a couple of things that we'll talk about with adjusting the floor when we get back.